So, hello, you're very welcome to the World Cup diary. It's the first day without football in the competition. I could be wrong, but it's around 3 years, I think, since we had a day without a World Cup match, or it certainly feels like it. I am still in the tranquility of Vancouver. I am about to leave. I'm quite sad about that because I should have stayed longer here. Sean, I think you're in some kind of hostage situation in an airport. You're in Atlanta airport. I mean, to bring people behind the wall here, we've had a struggle trying to start this recording because there's been sirens going off in the background. Now, I'm assuming that you haven't caused them. If that's the case, then we're fine to proceed here. But where are you going? Well, what's up next for you?
I'm in Atlanta Airport here, heading to Boston, and Dan, I feel like we're in very different situations here. If you can see that warning light, um, which actually, as we record, has just gone off. So about 10 minutes ago, there was a emergency announcement here in the airport. Everyone's kind of chilled, and no one's really too worried about it. And I think Dan, you're having a bit of grub beside the beach, so kind of, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I just feel like
But I'm
yeah, you're gonna end up like Tom Hanks in that movie where he's just stuck in the airport, and that's gonna be the rest of it.
so
And
this was
the question everyone is asking is there a barbecue in the airport? Because every time I see you, you're eating barbecue, as far as I'm concerned. So do you have one in Atlanta?
I haven't seen one so far, but Dan, you got to give the people what they want. It seems to be going viral.
Yeah.
But not here. But I'm in Atlanta, yeah, heading to Boston. Should have been in Boston about 12 hours ago, but an hour after the Argentina match, got an email saying my flight was cancelled. So it was a bit of a rush to rebook to make it to Boston in time for the quarter final, France Morocco. So yeah, I will get to Boston eventually. Hostage situation or no hostage situation.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I shouldn't joke about that. I mean, who knows what could happen in the meantime. Hopefully, you make it there. Um, yeah, I mean, it is strange. So I was in Vancouver, and I've spent the last. I mean, this is a beautiful part of the world, Seattle and Vancouver, where I've got two sort of dodgy games. I sort of mentioned this in the diary yesterday, like pretty anticlimactic. Belgium beating the USA so comfortably, and then the Colombia game was pretty disappointing. And we'll talk about your Messi experience in a minute, but there is a strange sense of like the competition very much moving on. Like I would have met Kevin Kilban and Matt Holland and a couple of the pundits who were here last night who were catching up. All pretty much, not all of them, but most of them going home now. And this is like it feels like we've been in this sprint now, and all of a sudden 40 teams are gone, and like a lot of the external cities there are the ones on the fringes are out of the competition. They're finished, like Canada, Mexico. It's over, And I was just doing a piece there about like say the 10 stories we'll remember from the competition. I was just picking out like, of the teams that are gone, and obviously Cape Verde and Egypt and a couple. I mean, I don't know if anything spring to mind for you, like of the teams that are gone, who are you going to miss? What will you miss?
I suppose it's impossible. Like the Cape Verde, obviously, as you said, is the first one that springs to mind. Like it was such a I know you've done obviously a few World Cups, Dan, but just like the Pico story was just absolutely incredible. Like the Shamrock Rovers captain Mark and Messi, pre-tournament, there would have been some odds on them reaching the knockout stages. It was an absolutely incredible story. But yeah, there's been a few like the Iran story. Like they were so unlucky to go out, and I suppose like now they're knocked out. Egypt, and I know we'll come on to the game here in Atlanta, but Egypt were just like that close, that close. Argentina looked down and out, and Egypt never made a quarterfinal before, and that one will hurt for a long time. And they certainly weren't happy with the refereeing decisions. Their manager seemed to start on photographer at the match yesterday as he walked off the pitch, like pretty much squared up to a photographer, and so I suppose that was a story in itself. But maybe with our Irish hats on, Dan, just like the Pico story was just fabulous, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was. Was that your first Argentina game with Messi, or is that your first Messi experience in the flesh?
First Messi
Um,
experience.
wow, like I mean, that really delivers. Like, how was that for you?
It was pretty like crazy. Like how would you possibly begin to sum up that game? Like it just I suppose just starting pre-match. I know Dan, you were speaking about it earlier in the tournament. Just you're walking up to the stadium, and it's you can't move for the amount of Messi 10 jerseys.
Yeah.
Um, the merch sellers, like I've never seen such a fervent like Ireland have played Portugal in the past, and kind of other teams like that, where there is a star like Ronaldo or like the main show in town. But just this Messi stuff was on a different level.
And a lot of them are
Completely.
Argentines as well. I think the thing is that it's sometimes with Ronaldo, you see people of all countries like wearing Ronaldo shirts or whatever. But with Messi, it's a little bit more. You feel like a lot of them are Argentines as well. I think that's the
Yeah,
difference.
definitely. I know speaking to a lot of Argentines who couldn't even get a ticket, but they just wanted to be in Atlanta, in and around. It reminded me of Ireland's playoff in Prague. Like I think there was 1,000 tickets going, and there was 4 or 5 thousand there without tickets. Who just wanted to be there to soak up the atmosphere. But like like Messi, it wasn't going his way at all for 75 minutes. Like missing the penalty. His penalty record in World Cups is actually quite, like, you wouldn't think it's as bad as it is. He's missed 4 out of his 8 World Cup penalties, excluding uh, shootouts, which is quite remarkable in itself. And then just like that, puts in the cross for the first goal. He gets the second goal, and before you know it, it was from the depths of despair, and then 10, 15 minutes later, he's in the middle of the pitch getting thrown up in the air by his teammates. He burst out crying at the end. Like, you only kind of saw it on the TV screen beside me. You've rarely seen him that he was bawling, crying. I think it just told you how close he knew how close it was to being his last World Cup appearance, possibly his last for Argentina. And like for 75 minutes, it was the Mo Salah show, and Messi just turned it on its head. It was an incredible. It'll be hard to top that. Like, probably, I don't know, Ireland qualifying for World Cup will probably be the only thing that might top that. That game in Atlanta, it was quite an event. Like,
Who knows? It could be France and Morocco, which is where you're off to. I mean, it's strange that the games like thin down now, and often we're talking about like 3, 4 games a day. Now all of a sudden it sort of thins out, and all of a sudden it's just a game a day. I know there's 2 on Saturday, but yeah, France Morocco. I mean, it is a little bit of the European show. That is the slightly worrying thing about the profile of the quarterfinals. That, I mean, Argentina could easily have been gone, albeit to 2 African sides that could have lost it. But generally, you come to the Americas, you expect the South American sides to be doing well. Um, but it's European dominated, and it feels like, I mean, there is a world where Switzerland beat Argentina and France beat Morocco. Like, it's not an implausible situation.
and especially like you look at the last 2, Argentina's Cape Verde scraping by 3-2, Egypt scraping by 3-2. Like, they are kind of leaking. Like, 4 goals in 2 knockout games for the champions is quite a stat. And as you said, like, those 2 scenarios could come to pass. But then you're kind of thinking, on the other hand, like, does form and that sort of stuff kind of matter at this stage? Because it's all about getting over the line, and kind of going on the adrenaline
Moment.
and the energy. And then on the other hand, you're thinking, like, will that have taken a lot out of Argentina emotionally? But then on the flip side, you could say, well, that might just spur them on and give them even more belief. So it's kind of hard to kind of quantify, like, the style of play with just the result, because, like, no one's going to remember how you played in a last 16 or quarter final. You're only going to be remembered if you're lifting that trophy on July 19th.
I got you. So what, we're like, I think I'm 5 weeks away now. You're a little bit less. Are you surviving? Do you feel?
Surviving,
Do you
yeah,
feel?
yeah.
Do you feel? Do you feel? Do you feel? What's on? Like, what's coming? Like, you've got Boston, and then where is it? Dallas for the semi-final.
Yeah, so Boston for the quarterfinal, then I have a day or 2 there, then Dallas for the semi-final next Tuesday, which likelihood might be France Spain. Like, going off the probabilities, but who knows? Might try catch one of the All Ireland semi-finals in Dallas on the
Oh
weekend
yeah.
as well. Maybe watching the Dubs and Dublin Kerry, but then after that, obviously back to New York with yourself, and then all roads lead to the final from there.
Yeah, one last barbecue maybe. There's a lot of loud jerseys of Vancouver last night, I should say. I feel like I'm shamelessly getting on the bandwagon here, but there was loud jerseys absolutely everywhere. I realise. Yeah, got to figure out how I'm going to watch those games the weekend. But yeah, I think we're good, Sean. I think we're good to check in. We'll actually see each other. Maybe next week's catch up, we might actually do it side by side in New York somewhere.
Might have a
Sort of
barbecue.
like,
during a
Yeah, I might
barbecue.
reflect. Yeah, I have seen you. I've seen more pictures of you eating than I have my children eating, which is sort of extraordinary at this stage. But
I
look,
think
we're getting towards the end. As I said, there's fewer games. There's a lot going on. My pineapple juice has just arrived here, so I'm gonna sign off. And yeah, we'll be back with the diary. I'm going to LA later today for Spain against Belgium, so I will check in from there tomorrow.
cheers, Dan.